Good evening.
How are you doing this evening?
I am very good. I'm very excited to talk to you. I'm really honored to be able to share this moment with you. Thank you.
Yes, and I am very honored to speak to you as well. Every time that I am connecting to separate fractions of consciousness in which I have not been able to speak to, I am always able to find a separate portion of my own consciousness, and for this it makes me very excited as well. Also, I wish to express good evening to all of the listeners as well as Kalina, and I wish to express to all of you that whenever you are ready to begin with your questions, you may.
Oh, right. Well, perfect. Well, we do have a lot of callers holding to talk to you, Treb. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to start with the first one.
Yes, this is really great.
Okay, here we go. It's going to be the person at the 503 area code. 503, are you there? Hello, you're on the line with Treb. Hi.
Hey Treb, how are you?
Yes, I am doing very well. And how are you doing this evening?
I am doing very, very good. I actually wasn't expecting to be the first caller.
Ah, see?
Yeah, got surprised there.
Okay.
Well, I have a question because I know time's limited. Treb, I'm curious. You help us all the time with issues and help us grow with things we're always stuck and blocked with. I was curious if you could share something that you know in your life that are some of your challenges that you've experienced and overcome.
Yes. This is a very exciting topic to speak of. In the way that you see adversities in any existence, in our own perspective, from our own race's collective experience, as well as within my own experience, this can be very different. The way that we perceive this is not a problem, not a burden, not something that drags upon our energy and we must fight with this until we overcome the idea. What we are looking at are things that are presented to us as something that we have not been able to experience yet. And when it comes to us, there is a moment of reflection. There are specific ideas of what to do next because it is not within the experience or within the collective experience. And something very specifically that I may give an example of is something that is very dear to me, that in its second density entities that I co-create with, that I connect to, that I look upon, in all of my existence, all of these entities have been very accepting of my own presence within their specific realms, whether it be upon their own planet or within their own dimensional providences. And when I am connecting to them, all of them have been quite docile. They have all been quite well. But there is one specific race of entities that we have not encountered previously that lived upon a great water moon, a moon that is filled with ocean. The entire moon is an ocean, and it surrounds, or goes around, if you will, a planet that is much larger than your planet that you would call Saturn. And while we are in this specific moon, we encounter a fish or a fish-like entity that in your own perception, that common nature agrees that when it wishes to greet you, it will bite into your skin. And as this entity is approaching and continuously biting upon us, it is not able to hurt us or penetrate us as we are in a different vibrational harmonic tone, but we knew that this biting aggression may cause complications for other entities, as the reason that we are there is because a fourth density entity was willing to step into this specific thing for an expedition, if you will. So as these entities progress and wish to come onto the planet, we wanted to find a resolution without infringing upon the free will of these fish, nor infringing upon the will of these fourth density explorers, if you will. So the best resolution that we had was coming very slowly to us. It did not appear very quickly or very normally to us, but once we were able to experience the idea that they would not go past a certain depth in the water, that there was a specific region amongst that moon in which they did not swim, this was the area that they could explore much of without putting themselves or the fish in danger. And this was a very great adversity that we have recently overcome.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yes, it is very exciting as well.
When did you personally get bit by any of these?
The teeth of the entity are not able to penetrate the skin. They are not able to bite, as they are only aware of the energetic presence that we represent. We are within one harmonic level higher than they are, so the physical makeup is not compatible for a bite. But energetically, we did not wish to see this entity suffer, and the biting we knew would cause suffrage for the fourth entities who are going to be very soon coming onto this moon. Water moon, perhaps, or planetary water moon, if you will.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, and thank you for sharing your inquiries as well.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. And what was your name?
My name's Aaron.
Thank you so very much. And I'm going to put you back on hold, and I'm going to move to the next call. All right. Well, have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Okay, Treb, we're going to go. I'll just say, what's very interesting is that you have a whole lot of issues that, we haven't had the privilege of having yet. But it's interesting to see that even in, your fourth density harmonic level, you have real things going on that we couldn't even conceive of. And that's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing to hear. Okay, we have a caller on the 704 area code coming in. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. What's your name?
Kim.
Hi, Kim. Hi. You have a question for Treb?
Yes. I had heard that the magnetic shield around the planet, is getting thinner, and that this is not a good thing. But I have also heard from somewhere that the magnetic shield is also the veil of forgetfulness. And I was wondering if there is any truth to this.
Yes. Let us express first that this idea of the veil and shield is not truly an incorporation of the entire truth in the way that we perceive this. Understanding that if your belief is strong enough, you can place yourself in an existence parallel to the one that you are within, in which this can be the truth. So if you are willing to invest a great amount of energy into this, a great amount of belief, a great amount of worry or excitement within this concept, then you will find yourself within a reality that is of this nature. But let us express that the magnetic field that you are perceiving is getting smaller in size, but this is for a very different reason than your scientists think. When you are thinking of the electromagnetic field, many entities upon your planet do not think of the concept of the electromagnetic grid. And what this is a baseline of energy that is electromagnetic in nature that tends to connect one entity to the next. It connects all humans to one another. It connects all animals of the same breed and the same race together, but it also will help cross-reference these connections from one entity to the next. For example, a human and a dog may be able to communicate if they are able to perceive the grid of communication from dogs, and the dog is perceiving them from the animals. So if you are looking at this as this, then this is a very easy explanation. The reason that it is becoming smaller in surface area, shrinking closer to the Earth, is that this specific field is allowing more quick communication. There is a limit to the physical speed that it has because it is a physical element within a physical universe that is given and driven by laws and specific speed signs, if you will. Perhaps this is the greatest concept, as you are aware, that light is at a specific speed. Also, electromagnetism is also at a specific speed. So as a fourth density human entity becomes to integrate with one another to the collective consciousness from one entity in North America to another entity in Asia, the time of connection can be much smaller. And when this is shrinking, this allows the speed limit to be lessened as it has less surface area to travel to. And this is one reason. But let us express also that if you begin to fear this concept, if you begin to place much energy of fear into this concept, then when you perceive this electromagnetic fear to be smaller, and this can be of a danger of some sort, this can bring you into that reality. But if you begin to see it as a veil, and the veil will be lifted, then it will only allow you to see truth for yourself after this veil is completely integrated. But what we can suggest is that the veil that is between yourself and the truth does not lie in a field between your planet and the moon. It does not lie around the atmosphere of your planet. The veil that separates you from truth is within your own heart and within your own mind. And once you are able to alleviate this idea, once you are able to truly connect to your own heart center and then to your mind as a secondary representation of energetic flow, then and only then will you be able to remove the veil. Even if the electromagnetic energy shrinks and disappears completely, for those of you who have not looked into your heart at a great enough degree, then you will still not be able to see the truth. And this is our truth and perception in the way that we experience it to share with you.
Wow.
Oh, wow, Treb.
That's beautiful. Wow. Kim, are you blown away by the answer or what?
I am. I didn't expect to get such an interesting answer.
Well, isn't it interesting how the connectivity between what you actually believe and your your knowingness of yourself is directly connected to your perception of what the representation of this magnetic shield is. I think that's what I took away from it as being one of the bigger truths that Treb so amazingly outlined there.
Well, thank you so much, Treb.
Yes, and thank you as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. I'm going to put you back on hold then.
Great. Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye. Okay, wow, that was amazing, Treb. That was an amazing, amazing explanation of things.
Yes, it is very exciting.
It is exciting. I'm really excited. Okay, we have another call. Here we go. It's on the 646 area code. Just one moment. Hello?
Yes?
Yes, hi. You're on with Treb. Who are we speaking
to? Oh, my God,
to?
I can't believe I got through.
Well, I just want to just say, too, and this is out of respect, Rob had said if you wanted to speak to Treb or Aridif, that you can request whomever you want to speak to. So do you have a question for Treb or for Aridif?
I'm open to Treb, actually, or anybody who can actually assist me with this. My mother and father passed away about 2.5 years ago, nine months apart. And I've been having reoccurrences, and they've been reaching out to me in dreams. And I had a very profound dream 2 nights ago. My mother came to me. I know that I was somewhere that I wasn't here on Earth. I was projected somewhere else. And it was strange because she spoke to me, and she showed me a showcase of what people do, or when they're passed away, that all these things that they loved on Earth, they preserve it. And I asked her, what is it like up here? Like, what is it? And she was telling me how beautiful it is in the afterlife. And I'm trying to connect the reasoning of her visiting me. It's like, what is the message? How can I tap into this? How can I channel into it?
Yes! This idea is very simple. Normally when dealing with a specific dream energy or a specific connection to a specific entity, such as your mother and father energy that you are connecting to, I would normally ask your permission to connect your energy and look into this further, but this idea is out at the very tip of the surface. It is out at the forefront of your own energetic self, and let us express the truth in the way that we perceive this. When you are connecting to the idea and energy of your mother and father, there is less pain there than was before, and more excitement now that you are incorporating them into your dream state, now that the communication is being opened, now that you understand that communication is possible. And in this specific dream, this specific representation in connection, what this truly is a true connection to your mother in real time. There are two types of dream states that are low astral projected state and high astral projected state. And in the high astral projected state, there are two differentials that you can experience. One of the ideas is that you are manifesting specific realities so that you may play out an experience, so that you may learn or cope with certain things that you cannot in a subconscious way in the waking state. And the other high astral state is where you are able to experience the higher densities. Now, the idea that before 2012 that entities who would die would go between the third and fourth density, the ones who die afterwards of this and all who have died before but are living in the present moment at this time, as linear time is slightly different in the freshly disconnected state of incarnation that they are experiencing between the fourth and fifth density. As your parents had died in this specific time, that was before the December 21st, 2012 area, they were going in between the third and fourth density, and they have chose to stay in that specific time as they are still very connected to the family origin, to all of those things as they are showcasing to you that they had loved upon the earth. And as they stay connected to that energy, they are also staying connected to that portion of time. And in linear time, as they are staying between third and fourth density, this is where your waking consciousness is. It does not take you much of an elevation to reach the area that they are choosing to stay in at this moment. So as you are going to sleep, even though you do not need to go into the high astral state, you are able to do this. And as you are doing this, you are able to open up a dialogue with them. This specific dream and this specific conversation was there not only so that you could speak openly and freely to your mother, but also to open up the concept of excitement, knowing that there are things that are further in consciousness than yourself, something to strive for, something that will allow you an excitement to open yourself up more so that you can experience more of this. This has been your pathway of excitement in the last 1 year area, more specifically in the last 6 months, it has become more excitable. And in this specific excitement, you are opening up all probabilities to be able to connect to these things by yourself. So as you are having this dream, you are doing two birds with one stone, if you will. And this is why you connect to this idea, and this is why you connect to your mother in this idea.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it? So congratulations that your mother is coming through, that you're open enough and joyful enough, that you're open to the energy vibration where she is and you're able to tap right into it. That's showing tremendous opening on your part. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's so confusing. It's like this happens to me a lot. It's like the deceased just love to speak to me. And
yes.
I have
Let us express that we are perceiving your crown chakra to be wide open. Your third eye is very open as well. What we can suggest to do within this idea, if you wish to connect more deeply to the energies of those who have passed on, is what you are able to do is look into your second and third chakra more deeply. The energy that flows through there is very great, and it is nothing wrong with you, but the energy flowing through the second and third chakra are more resistant than the rest of these. If you are able to open these two chakras, then more energy will flow in the manner that it is designed to flow, and this will help with the signals that come in from those who are perceived to be perceived more frequently, more delicately, more accurately. What you can do to look into these ideas is practice living in the now. Do not worry of what has happened previously. Do not look too far into the head. Also try to integrate the understanding of yourself as oneness with all. This will help you in the third chakra area, but the second chakra area as well. There is a concept that is based around the feminine versus masculine energy that many feminine entities are very at war with within themselves in this world. And when you are looking into this one idea, being comfortable with the energy that you are within by not fighting certain masculine aspects of your own energy and by accepting the very beautiful and wonderful feminine energies that you do have, this will help realign you in a way where the energy will be more fluent.
Wow. Yes. I'm just like so overwhelmed, trying to figure out where the energy is and like where does it go and
yes.
You have a lot of homework to do, I think.
Yes, I do.
Yes, so we're going to move on because we do have so many other calls, but I think that you have a good starting point of you really focusing on your chakras and clearing those so that you're just even more open. The goal is balance, to be as balanced as possible, to be as open as possible, to be in the place of joy and to hold that vibration, because in doing that you shift to a consciousness where you are able to contact your mom. But she's obviously reaching out to you, and that's amazing.
Yeah, it's
an amazing thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you as well.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next call. I'm going to put her back on hold. We have someone on the 770 area code. One moment. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, who is this that we're speaking with?
This is Robert Crowder.
Hi, Robert Crowder. How are you? You're speaking with Treb.
Hi, Treb. How are you doing?
Yes, good evening, Robert. I am doing very well. And how are you doing this evening?
I am fine. I recently had an experience where I awoke in my bed and I think it was around 5 a.m. I felt this being lay next to me. I felt that it was feminine, and she had her arm over me, and she was cuddling me. It was a beautiful experience. I had the feeling that it was my Nubian soulmate, Delilah. We are working on a manifestation to be together, for her to be with me physically for a short period of time to get to know each other. I was wondering if you had any suggestions that could help with the physical manifestation.
Yes! The greatest concept that I am able to share with you in this moment is the greatest way to build the bridge to connect to this entity more physically is to find a way to know yourself more greatly. In this way, you will be able to open up all resistance that is within you, and there you will be able to create a reality that is more beneficial to you. Let us express that within your relationship with this entity, there is a slight undertone of needing to have this connection. There is an undertone that this connection is important, and without it, it can feel empty. This energy in itself can be a blocking factor of this energy as well. When you feel that you are in need of something, a connection with another entity, then what you are doing is lacking the concept of this entity already being a portion of you. So when you connect to this entity, knowing that it is a part of you, knowing that by connecting to yourself will be of greatest benefit, then this in itself can help build a bridge in which a reality is more fitting for both of you to be able to connect in a physical way, so that both of you may be able to experience yourselves through each other as a manifestation in any reality that you desire. So this is the idea that we wish to express to you that can be most beneficial from our point of view.
How's that, Robert?
It was fun.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much for your call, and I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to move on to the next one. Thank you very much. Okay, Treb, we have a lot more calls, so I'm moving down the line. Let me see what we have here. Okay.
Very fun thing.
What did you just say? I'm sorry?
Yes, I said that moving down this line is a very fun thing.
Yes, it is. Okay, here we go. 408 area code. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. Hi.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm great.
Yes, we are doing very well, and thank you for asking.
Yes, thank you.
I didn't think I'd be showing in front of the line, and my call got dropped, so I thought I'd be at the bottom of the line. Yeah.
No.
I had a question to Aridif.
Yes, one moment, please, and I will connect to him.
Thank you, Treb.
Yes, you are very welcome. One moment, please. Good evening, Anthony.
Hi, Aridif. How are you?
I am doing well, and how are you doing in this night?
I am very excited to be able to connect to all of you guys today.
And we are excited to connect you as we are loved, and so are you.
Thank you. My question was to you. I had a private session with Treb about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago, and I had asked him about the first race that ever came to this earth, and I asked him about the name of them, and he said that in about a month, which is about this time, to ask you. So now I finally have the opportunity.
Are you speaking of the first race who inhabits this earth, or are you speaking of the first race that connected humans upon this earth?
The first race to inhabit this earth.
The first race to inhabit this earth has no physical name. The energetic name that was left was Khen. And in this Khen race, these entities are very seldomly spoke of. The Earth Collective Consciousness, through all of its archives, energetically and subsequently non-energetically, are trying to connect to this idea very strongly. What we can tell you, what we are aware of throughout archives as well as our own intuitive understanding of your Earth's history, is that these entities were alive 4.2 billion years ago. This is at close to the beginning of your own planet. Let us express, we are not saying 4.2, we are expressing 2.4. The miscommunication lies within the inversion of numbers. We apologize upon this. 2.4 billion years ago, these entities lived upon your planet. This is much before much of life upon your Earth was thought to be even available to exist. In this specific time, they were living in a non-oxygen-rich environment. Once the plants begin to grow upon this planet, once they begin to turn carbon monoxide, which was the dominant gas, into oxygen, it made their environment non-livable. This was one of the very first third-density entities in the history of the galaxy to ever be able to move their entire race off of the planet. The reason that there are not stringent details of the specific race is because they are energetically not in a physical system. This is not a problem for most races, as archives are able to track these specific movings and track the specific history, as well as our own consciousness being able to jump backwards and forward in time. But these entities specifically were not connected to this collective consciousness. They were not connected to this matrix in this galaxy. They were connected and brought here through another matrix, which makes them untraceable through archives. The physical archives we are speaking of, not the energetic. The energetics that were left here were not much of a detail as well. The earth changes that you have has only allowed your race to find one point of history for them. Several years ago, there was a metal ball that was found on the southern area of Africa. This was carbon dated approximately 2.3 billion years ago, but it was off by 100,000 years, or 100 million years. We are sorry, this mathematical terms we are still working through as we are new to connecting to Rob in as frequent a way as we have been. So in this 100 million years difference, this does not allow much play for your scientists, but we understand the carbon dating process is not as precise as you might allow yourself to think. Now, when you are looking at this race, they are leaving their planet. They moved to the next inhabitable planet, which was Mars. They did not live there very long. The environment there was also too oxygen-rich, and their technology was not good enough for them to leave that planet. In that planet, they did not survive very long, and in fact, that is where they remained in the last days of their physical incarnations.
Wow. Thank you very much, Aridif. Real quick, I have one quick question. I have random, I call them energy spasms. I was wondering if you can help me out with that, like if you know anything I can do to calm those down. They randomly happen to me, and this feels like energy just comes into my body and jerks me out of nowhere.
Yes. What we can suggest is do not fight these energies. They are releasing for a reason. When you begin to fight them, then you begin to fight the energy that you are. If you let them go, if you let a relaxation come upon you when they come, the less frequently you will see them, the less frequently you will experience them. Because you have perceived them to be negative and distracting and a pain into your neck, that is why they repeat in such a drastic way. Let the energy be released, accept yourself, love yourself because you are loved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aridif.
Thank you very much, caller. I'm going to put you back on hold. That was a wonderful question. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. Aridif, very nice to meet you. I haven't ever spoken with you before, but it's very nice to talk with you as well.
It is very exciting to speak to you as well, and thank you for facilitating the communications as well as placing your desire, excitement, and heart into the equation.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have one more call on 404 area code. Here we go. Hi, you're on with Aridif. Hello, hi. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Anindita.
Hello, hi.
My question is open to either Treb or Aridif. I don't have any specific entity in mind, but it is related to the scale of consciousness that Dr. David Hawkins mentions in his book called Power versus Force. And I was wondering what would be my vibrational level on that scale.
In the scale we are not familiar with, I will hand you to Treb Bor Yit NE, as he will express his own scale of vibration and give you a reading that is more suitable to himself. Thank you for connecting. One moment, and I will bring forth Treb Bor Yit NE.
Thank you, Aridif.
Thank you.
Yes, let us express it again. Yes, good evening. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing very well. I am very excited to speak of this concept. We are not familiar with the concept or the scale that you have given, but let us express that we have our own scale of vibrational looking. We are able to read the energy that you are strongest within, the highest level of your energetic output, and then we give an expression of where it lies within the chakra system. There are 10 increments between each chakra, 10 that go from first to second, 10 that go in between second and third, so on and so forth. And each one of these are accompanying a color that is based with the chakra line as being 0 and the next chakra as being 10 to the other portion. So in this way, if we are looking at your energy, we will express that in your specific color range, you are between orange and yellow to a 6/10 degree. So you are very yellow-orange plus 1/10.
Oh, okay. What would that relate to in the scale of consciousness by David Hawkins? Do you have any idea about that scale?
Yes, I have many ideas. What I want to share with you of this idea is that when you are looking at your own energy, what this means is that you are very strong with basing your own comfort. With sexuality, you are strong at finding survival mechanisms within you. You are now working upon the integration of your own self with connecting to other entities. You are moving into your heart center. You are beginning to connect to the love aspects very deeply and very richly. And all of these things are great strength of yours. As you are incorporating your own specific vibration amongst others, you will begin to find more things about yourself as an individual entity who is connected to a larger collective, and seeing your place in this collective will help you move quite expediently through your, let us say, yellow phase into your green phase, and this should not take very long at all. If you are remaining amongst the excitement and path of growth that you are in, then you will be able to experience your heart chakra within the next 1 1/3 year. And this is a very exciting idea, as the majority of humans that are upon your planet, in the overall highest assessment that we are able to see, are averagely between the first and second chakra. They are still working upon these energies. So you are much higher than this specific average, but let us express that before, when you are able to hear us speaking to entities who are in between their heart chakra and throat, or between their throat and third eye, many entities will look upon these entities and express that there is perhaps a slight jealousy that they are higher than them, that they are a different color and a more high chakra than they are. But let's express that there is no chakra that is better than the other chakras. Each one of these are individually serving a purpose, collectively serving separate purposes, and as you see independently the area of consciousness that you are within, it is perfect for you in the area that you are in. And when you begin to judge the area of consciousness that you are in, instead of embracing your strengths, working towards what you desire more greatly, then you will begin to move down in your chakra system. So let us express that even though when we first expressed this, it was not extremely flattering in your own mind, that this is a very beautiful place to be. And we are greatly excited that you are in this area.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Will you be, yeah, that's great. Will you be able to give a number between 0 to 1,000? Because I kind of have the scale of consciousness from 0 to 1,000 in my mind.
Caller, is it important for you to have a number? I mean, I think what Treb was telling you is that where you are is exactly where you need to be, and being open and being open to growth is really the true goal, and to not measure yourself by some number. There's no achievement. There's only the being, and being who you are.
Right. Yes, I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the explanation.
Yes, and thank you for your great excitement as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Treb, we have about 4 minutes before Rob asked me to let him know. Do we have time to take one more call, or?
If this calling is a very short concept, then this will be very acceptable.
Okay, well, 915 area code. I'm taking your call, so please make a very short concept phone call so you can have a question with Treb. Hello?
Hi, Treb.
I said begin to ask one question.
Hello.
Yes. I am here.
Hi. You once connected me to my Oversoul connection from Wiesen.
Yes.
And I heard the session again, but I didn't understand exactly which hybrid race my Wiesen connection was from. Can you tell me what hybrid race he's from?
The hybrid race that we are speaking of from Wiesen are that of an entity who is connected to what you would perceive to be a gray and also a humanoid race as well. And when you see the Wiesen entities themselves, they are a specific gray race that are connected to many hybrid races. When you look at the Wiesen energy within itself, that is a hybrid race as well as themselves having separate hybrid races. When you connect to the idea of your own hybrid child, your own connection to the hybrid energy, you are looking at a hybrid of a Wiesen entity and one humanoid entity that is within a system that you would call Earth. And in this system, your connection that you have with this entity is through not only the DNA, not only the physical genealogy, but also through the specific concept of the Oversoul as well.
Oh, okay. I guess I wasn't understanding that. Okay, thank you. That was my short question.
That was a good short question.
Well.
Thanks.
All right. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, Treb, we are just 11 minutes before the end of the hour.
Yes, I wish to express to all of you before we disconnect in this evening that each expression of excitement that you have in your existence is bringing forward new paths of excitement, new paths of new excitements that once were not able to be perceived, but also new excitements that you may integrate into other excitements. So when you are seeing all the varying degrees of excitements, you may incorporate them into any specific area of excitements that you desire to. The word excitement has been used several times within the last 2 sentences because we believe that it can be very exciting to look at your excitements. And now that we have expressed this word twice more, we will say that we are very excited to speak to all of you, and with these ideas that we are sharing this evening, we will leave all of you in love and in light, and we will experience each other again very soon.
Thank you so much, Treb, and say good night and goodbye to Aridif as well for us, and thank you so very much for sharing your knowledge and your love and just being with us this evening. Thank you very much.
Yes, you are very welcome, and thank you as well. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, Kalina.
Good evening, Trevi. How are you tonight?
Yes, I am doing very well. And how are you doing in this evening?
I am feeling extremely excited to have you and Aridif come in tonight and speak with all of us. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yes, and we are very excited to be here as well. We know that many of you have many questions, but before we embark upon these questions, we wish to share one concept with you. First of all, I wish to give my own great excitement, my own great gratitude to all of you. In the expression of gratitude that I wish to share, there are many messages that we wish to incorporate into this evening. The very first is love of oneself. This concept has been expressed several times by myself, by the host, by Aridif, and in this connection, we have always learned to express one truth, that in any relationship or counterbalancing projections of consciousness that you share with one another upon your planet, that the most essential element in the success rates of all of your endeavors and all of your connections and all of your relationships is always starting out with oneself. That in connecting to your own heart, your own excitements, looking into your own pathways in any way that you seem fit or necessary, this concept is the one that begins the resistance-free environment. This is one concept that we wish to share with you in this evening. The next concept that we wish to share will come to you from the entity that you would call Aridif. Perhaps the idea that the host wished for me to share is the concept of ancient Pleaidian Aridif. This label seems to be more fitting for the host in these moments, and in this way, I will now introduce all of you to the idea of the concept of this entity that he is wishing to express within himself and as well as co-creating with all of you by now officially pronouncing or introducing and pronouncing the concept of Aridif the Ancient Pleaidian. One moment, please. Good evening to all of you. This is Aridif. My name is Aridif. This is A-R-I-D-I-F, and this is it spelled. We wish to first incorporate our own greetings specifically to Kalina this evening, and specifically to all of you who have joined us live in this specific evening. I know that you wish to talk about certain concepts and ideas of what is going on within your life, but let us express one ideal before we start this adventure. Before this adventure becomes started, before it begins to roll downwards in the hill, we wish to explain one very important aspect of this evening's communication. In this specific time period that you would deem the end of 2014, there are many energies that are beginning to change. The very first energy that has come to you is the concept that you would call equinox and solstices. And in this specific evening, before the time period that you would see as 6 a.m. in this Eastern time, you were able to perceive one blood moon. Now, this blood moon is a specific astronomical event that happens outside of your planet with the reflection of the sun to the moon, with the moon's angle to the earth, with the moon's closeness to the earth. This is one representation of this blood moon being reflected to you. But let us introduce another idea. The other idea is not only are you seeing different reflections of light, different angles, different momentums from these astronomical bodies co-creating existence, but what the moon is another energy in the co-creation of your solar system collective consciousness, as is your star that you would call the sun, or three of you entities, Earth Collective, Moon Collective, Solar Collective, are all playing a very tightly knit dance. All three of you are co-creating energy after this specific equinox in the time that you see as November and October. This is the beginning of a new change of energy. The change of energy that we wish to share with you is one of releasing old systems. Your old systems have been tested throughout the entirety of this year, specifically to make room for your venture in this time. This specific time will allow you to shed all of the limiting beliefs that you have struggled with, that you have faced, that you have brought to the surface through your own variance ascensional process of consciousness. And now that you will do this, you will now begin to see all of the momentum that you had hoped for in the beginning of this year. You've seen struggle and nothing but struggle from the beginning of this year in your own consciousness or in entities around you that you hold dear to you, that you love. We have talked about, with Treb Bor Yit NE previously, 3 waves. In these 3 waves, there is sickness and illness. There is holding to the very tightly to specific things, ideals, belief systems. There are finding your resonance with removing this, struggling with the energies that are left behind, which mostly manifest into sickness. And there is the wave 3, where you are in a good place mentally and emotionally and are helping those who are doing this. All of you who are hearing my voice in this evening have been through all 3 of these in this year. You have been assisting others, going through something, or dealing with the energies of removing beliefs. Now, it is time for a perpetual downslope, a downslope of anxiety, a downslope of hardships, a downslope of negative or restricting energy into your very own power, your very own expansion. In this expansion, you will find many synchronicities that will allow you more financial, more relationship energy. You will find yourself in more situations that will allow these financial ventures, the relationship ventures, and the ability to do something that excites you. This is the one thing that has eluded many of you. This is the one thing that has been your proverbial dragon, what you have chased and never caught, and now you will be able to embark upon this. What we can suggest, what can be the highest resonance of this energy in this moment, what can be your most constructive move in this energy if you truly wish to expand and evolve, is to dive deeply into your own excitements. Dive deeply into your own shadow work, as some of you call this. Diving deeply in looking with truth and honesty into all of the attributes of your own self that you find to be limiting and non-resonant. And by doing this, you will guarantee yourself the releasal of many of these things that have restricted you for the entirety of your existence. This is what we are here to speak of in this evening, and what we desire to share. Myself, Treb Bor Yit NE, the host, as Treb would call Rob, and Kalina herself. This is what we wish to co-create with all of you in this evening. If there are any questions, you may begin them when you are ready.
Thank you very much, Aridif. That was really amazing. And I also want to let everyone know, when you were speaking of the waves, the 3 waves, I will replay that on Friday on the Earth Experience. As you know, I won't be back until the 24th officially. So if you want to come back 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will replay that. And then if you want to listen to the archive of what Aridif was speaking about tonight, I think it'll help to clarify a lot of things. I myself will be listening to it again because it really hits home to me. So thank you to both Aridif and Treb. I want to also say, just remember, 1 question apiece. Of course, if we get time, I can put you back on hold. If we have time, you can ask another question. You can select Treb or Aridif, or if you want to say, whoever wants to answer that, you can. So without further ado, I'm going to start with our very first caller, Annie, who's been on the line at 404. Are you there, Annie?
Yeah, I'm there.
Hi. Do you have a question? Hi, how are you?
I don't mind whether it's Treb or Aridif, whoever is willing to answer the question. The question is actually not so much related to me, but it's more related to my boyfriend. He's right here with me, but he's a little shy speaking on the radio, so I'll just ask on his behalf. So when he was pretty young, he had this experience with a UFO sighting back in Russia with his father. And when he told me, I was just very curious, we both are very curious to know what planet system was that UFO from, and was there any reason behind the fact that he and his father got to see the particular UFO? So does it have any relationships with either my boyfriend Yevgeny or his father, or maybe both of them? So any information about that particular sighting would be nice.
Yes, we will cover this very quickly. The entities that he was able to experience was that of the hybrid races. The hybrid races that are mostly involved upon your Earth at this time are the ones that most of you are seeing in your sightings in this day. The very specific energetic sense of signature that he is picking up is directly from those of what some call the Pleaidian. This is a secondary race that was made from the gray entities, or Zeta Reticuli grays, that you experience here upon your Earth collective. These entities are the one that he has experienced in that moment. Now, this being related, it is related in all ways, yet it is related in no ways. Let us explain. The first way that we express it is related to all ways is that all parts of the energy of the Father and the Son in that moment are related and connected. This allows co-creational responsibility and integrity to both of them. The entity that appeared before your boyfriend or before your husband, whichever label you are giving this entity was specifically the Yahyel, the entity that projects his consciousness from the Oversoul. They are both related through specific various branches of the Oversoul. This is why they are able to experience the craft and the sighting and the experience. This is how it is related, and it is related to both of them as your husband or your boyfriend is co-creating an experience with his father as well. All things are related. Now, in the way that none are related, is that in the experience, this is truly not another entity. This is a projection of your husband's or boyfriend's consciousness manifesting outwardly something that he needs in his own experience inside. As a child, as a younger person, this entity wanted to experience greater and bigger things. They are also having a full subconscious awareness that entities outside of Earth exist. So in the experience, this entity that comes to them by the ship sighting is truly an entity that is projected from within himself to co-create that moment. So it is none, it is all, it is both, and it is the experience that he needed. He is loved, and so are you. Thank you.
Well, that was an interesting insight into it. And is there any idea whether he had any kind of experience with the entity which he doesn't remember now, like being on the spacecraft or any other kind of direct interaction, physical interaction that he probably didn't remember because maybe the memory was removed or whatever?
We will express this idea in this way. There is a remembrance that is not there because the remembrance cannot be there in that moment. When he is ready to remember this experience, he will remember it fully. Yes, there is time, a slight amount of time that is missing, but his oversoul is aware of this connection and knows why. When he is able to relax about what the answer will be, he will find this answer within himself. We cannot assist in this one specific manner, as it will not help to move forward in his own consciousness, that in which he needs to experience on his own. Finding the answers inside of yourself most of the time is more profound than ever being expressed. When another expresses an idea, it is only coming from their truth. You must have your own truth to fully resonate and to fully incorporate the answers of these deep questions that most of you have. And once you are able to understand this from your own perspective, you will be given more insight than I would ever be able to express to you. There is something to look at in this situation, so let him look into this further within himself. The answer will be found. Again, you are loved, as is he, and we bid you adieu.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that insight and information. I really appreciate it.
You are loved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Annie, for your call. And just want to say a little reminder for anyone who wants to ask a question, remember to hit 1 on your keypad on your phone. That way it basically raises the question, so I know that you want to ask a question. And if you're listening from the internet, you can also dial 347-308-8788. We have a wonderful next caller, Savita, on the line. Savita, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am excellent. I'm loving to see you here tonight. Do you have a question for Treb and or Artis?
Oh, honey, I have many questions, but let me see what Treb choose to answer. Hello, Aridif.
Good evening, Savita. How are you doing?
Good evening. I am doing wonderful. It's a bliss. It's a beautiful time. I feel so great change in me. Arif, I love you too, but may I please request to bring Treb, because I feel so excited, to talk to Treb. Please.
Yes, we understand and we know that there is no difference between myself and him, except for your excitement in the moment to connect. And this is not taken in any offensive way. One moment, and we will bid you adieu for the evening. One moment, please.
Thank you.
Yes! Good evening, Savita.
Good evening, Treb. I love you so much, Treb.
Yes, and I love you as well.
Treb, I have 2 questions. So you choose either one you want to answer, because we get to get only one question. So my first question is, I met a guy yesterday, and we connected like anything. Our choices and everything is same. We sat and we talked 3.5 hours, and it's just feels like we know each other forever. I feel that my heart feels that I'm here to assist him, to help him through his difficult time. So if you can look up and tell me, is there any connection and what is all about? And my second question, this is kind of, it's not a silly question, I just want to ask. when I sit in my backyard, that happened 2, 3 times. There's a one squirrel. She comes and she looks at me all the time and she keep on squeaking. I feel like that she's talking to me something. So, I don't know what's going on. If you can tell me what's going on, is that squirrel really talks to me and want to convey something or something? So you choose either one, which one you want to answer.
Yes! Let us look into this squirrel idea more so, because as you are aware, we are not able to take permission from another entity without them giving this expressly. So let us look into this idea of the squirrel. Now, in this squirrel's co-creation, it is the same regulations and the same rules as it would be with human entity. I am not able to look into the energy very deeply, but let us express that there is a definite advantage of the second density entities, as they are less complicated in energetic layout and they are less secretive in their own journey. They are often more easily able to be read, as all of their experiential preferences tend to be worn upon the outside layer of their energy. One moment and I will connect you in this moment. Yes! Let us express that this squirrel entity is not only an entity that appears to be outside of yourself, appears to be coming to you and squeaking and playing about and eating nuts within its mouth, but what this entity is, more specifically, is an extension of your own consciousness. Now, this happens very frequently amongst many of you. Your own perceptions of what animals are, your incorporation of the excitement that comes with co-creating with animals is often to a level that is high enough where you will be able to manifest an entity that is not truly a second density entity. Upon our planet, there are many entities that you would perceive as trees and birds and fish and plants, and all of these entities are not truly second density in nature. They are a manifestation of our collective consciousness as we desire to have company. And in this way, this specific entity is that for you as well. It is one that shows you the most purest reflection within yourself. It shows you the capability that you have of extreme joy, extreme happiness, freeness, being able to do what it wishes in each moment, being able to explore the world through different eyes. All of these things that you are greatly excited of and looking for within your own self are truly the reflection of what this entity is presenting to you. And in this specific concept and in this way, you are experiencing the world through squirrel consciousness, much as some of you do with those entities that you perceive to be house animals or pets, are truly only a manifestation of your own consciousness. Most of the time when you are discerning this concept between yourself and an entity, the way that you are able to tell if it is truly a second density entity or whether it is truly a reflection of your own consciousness, all animals will reflect you into a high degree what your energy is in that moment, but often there will be animals that surround you in which they are given the energetic cue before you are able to see it. So what we are saying, by example, when you are being mad and frustrated and angry, and the entity reflects that back to you by being avoiding or not connecting to you and letting it pet you, such as the house animal, and the entity that is a projection of your oversoul will begin to mirror this frustration and anger before you present physical, electronic, electromagnetic, or telepathic signals that presents your frustration and anger to begin with. And if you are able to be very aware of this concept, then you will be able to see if this entity that all of you are co-creating with are either second density or projections of your own consciousness. And with you, specifically, Savita, with this one squirrel, this is a projection of your own consciousness.
Treb, the way I love you, how the same love differ in higher dimensions. It differs like the love I feel for that squirrel, or I feel for those animals, a love I feel for you, is that love changes or expands, or how this love is in higher dimensions?
Yes! Let us express that the capacity that most humans who are considered very high in love, in very high and loving vibrations, what this is the highest degree of love that you are able to experience in your steps and processes of evolution. But once you in the fourth density, which now you are just beginning, whether it be several dozen generations, 10 generations, or several thousand generations, once you are complete with fourth density, once you begin to embark upon the fifth density journey, such as we have done, and we are towards the end of our own fifth density journey, with the unconditional love mastered, you will be able to perceive all external entities with equal value. What this means is, if I were able to experience the squirrel within its vicinity, if I was able to look at the squirrel in the face-to-face way, such as you are doing, I would not have any less love for it than I would my own female counterpart, in which perhaps you would call a wife, my own female counterpart, and my own children, my own direct family, or any entity from my race. We are able to see not only our family, but we are also able to see the squirrel. We are also able to see the tree that the squirrel lives upon, and also the piece of paper that is crumpled up in front of the tree, all equally. It is because we truly understand, truly integrate, and truly feel every specific point or mechanism of energy that co-creates with every one of these entities, that we are all truly one and the same. And because we are aware of this, but more so than being aware, because we feel the oneness within this, we are able to love all things in an equal fashion. Even in the way that humans perceive unconditional love, such as what they would say for husband or wife or child, there are points in which they become frustrated with him, in which they are able to yell and swear or say, if you are doing this, if you are going out to drink every Wednesday with your friends, if you are going to leave a mess upon my living room, if you do not help me clean this area in this specific time, then I will not give you affection, I will not give you time, I will leave this area and leave you to be lonely. All of these things are representations of conditional love. Although it is not being weighed upon a scale, there is a great difference between conditional and unconditional. And in our society, we can unconditionally love the paper, the squirrel, the tree, and the human who is smiling at the squirrel.
So that means we lose our filters. It becomes pure and pure. Okay. Thank you so much, Rob. Take another second call.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Thank you.
I forgot to. Thank you so much, sister, for calling in. We love you so much.
I love you too.
Okay. You have a wonderful night. I'll put you back on hold.
Thank you.
So, Treb, I was curious really quickly because we don't have a whole lot of time. I want to try to get everyone in, but when you were talking about the squirrel being a part of our consciousness reflecting back, are you familiar with the term power animals that a lot of the Native American communities refer to? Because it seems to me that this might be, one of the labels given for this experience.
Yes, this is very true. When you see the idea of a power animal, this is a representation of an energetic symbolic or a literal entity that is co-creating an experience with this entity within the Native American community, and as they incorporate these entities into their own existence, if it is only a symbol or if it is only a symbolistic concept, and then they bring it more forward to their true experience, this is the same concept. They are manifesting an entity to co-create with them that is truly a portion of their oversoul. soul that is truly an external manifestation of what they truly are in the essence within them.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, for those of you out there listening, that's one thing to pay attention to. That's just so beautiful to me. Okay, so we are going to move along to our next caller. We have a 503 area code. 503, who do we have with us this evening?
Hey, this is Aaron. How are you doing, Kalina?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad to hear that you're doing better.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys have given me so much love and so much strength, and I'm just so grateful to all of you. Do you have a question for Treb and or Aridif tonight?
You know, it's kind of funny. I actually, not really. I
Yeah?
think all the stuff you guys have been talking about has actually been kind of just doing it for me. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I guess I just want to say hi to, you, Aridif, Treb, Rob even, and I guess thank you, and I guess if maybe you can take the next caller, that'd be awesome.
Oh, well, thank you so much for calling in, and if there's time, I'll check back in with you.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
We also wish to express a great hello to you and a great love to you, as well as Aridif and the host.
Aren't they sweet? Okay, so the next caller we have is the 561 area code. 561, who do we have with us this evening?
Hi, Kalina. It's Gail. How are you?
Hi, Gail. Thank you for the wonderful message you put on my Facebook wall.
Oh, right after you got sick, I got sick, but I had bronchitis for about a month, and I'm feeling better, and I really haven't been following Aridif, and I know that you've been sick, so I just kind of hibernated for a little while until I felt better. But I have a question. I'm going to ask Aridif, I believe. I would like to know why I chose to reincarnate in this lifetime. Is it possible to ask that?
Yes, this is very possible, and we will give you the greatest explanation that we can. We cannot give you a map laid out for all things that you desire to do, all things that you wish to do before coming here, but we will explain one thing. There is not an accident surrounding the concept that you have found these entities through channeled states that you have. They are holding keys to messages of reasons why you have come here. You have co-created so frequently with other people who are excited of the same things that you are. You are wishing to have communities of large amounts of people who come to listen, who come to co-create, who come to live in a heart-centered energy that you find resonance. With those things, you are able to find more things that will lead you to the path of why you are here. Let us give one extra layer to this. When you look upon the layer that is sitting on top of the layer, that is the answer that we have given you, then what you have is why all of you have come to experience the Earth Collective. The reason that you have come to Earth is because it is a very unique area, a very unique school, a grounds of growth that upon which other no incarnation can give you. Yes, there are systems in which limitation is much higher than the Earth Collective. Yes, there are experiences that are much more difficult to anticipate, much more difficult to interpret, and much more difficult to truly walk through than the Earth Collective. But in the Earth Collective, it gives you a unique perspective to find all spectrums of difficulty, from the lightest difficulty to the hardest, and everything that is in between, with your capability to turn on and off your heart within the same breath. And if you can see the exact quality of your understanding of what is being shared, then you will be able to incorporate ways to share it with others in which they have not been able to hear. You will be able to give them the simplicity that they need for the more complex information. If you share that, this excitement will lead you to other excitements, and you will find your reason why you specifically as a fractalized consciousness, have decided to enter the Earth Collective Consciousness. You are loved.
Thank you so much, artist, and Rob and Treb and Kalina. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much.
Yes, we bid you adieu.
Thank you so much, Gail. We love you.
We love you too. I love you bigger.
Oh. Okay, so the next caller, just give me a moment, my computer froze up. Sometimes the arrow likes to freeze a little. Okay, so the next caller we have is in the 816 area code. 816, who do we have with us this evening?
Hi, hello, Kalina. This is Philip, PBS.
Hi, Philip. How are you?
How are
PBS? I love that. How are you?
I'm great. It's wonderful to hear your voices, all of you. And I'll just go and dive right into my question, which is, this is kind of weird. My question is that when I'm just kind of on my own and thinking and stuff, and I have tons of questions and curiosities, and then I get to the point where I'm on the call ready to ask an ET or like Treb or a channeler or someone my question, and I literally kind of freeze up and get this, not really an anxiety, but it's just like the questions aren't there. Like there's nothing that I want to know in that moment, and the things that I do want to know, they seem to come to me by other means. And I'm also wondering, Treb, if you could tap into my energy. I give you permission, obviously, to do that, and offer me whatever information that might help me with this kind of general anxiety around people and what's going on with this, where the questions just aren't there.
Yes, we understand, and in one moment we are transferring consciousness to Treb Bor Yit NE.
Thank you, artist. Love you guys.
Yes! I wish to express to you that in this idea I will connect your energy more deeply, and in one moment I will connect to this. You are well aware of how to push the energy outward, so as you begin to do this, I will connect to this. Yes! Let us express that, first of all, there are two reasons in why the triggering mechanism is caused by stopping of the questions. There are two reasons for this. When there is no realized reason why the question has been stopped, but yet no answers come in that moment, or no answers come at all for that question, this is an idea of the ego. The ego states that all of you are struggling and wrestling with this moment, and as you begin to wrestle, there are several things that take place. The ego is not something that is evil that should be destroyed or killed, as many entities upon your planet believe, but what the ego is a portion of yourself that was used for survival mechanisms in the ancient days, in your prehistoric days. And as your prehistoric times no longer needed the ego, it began to develop in other areas. As you are transcending into the new ascensional period, into fourth density, the ego is not comfortable with this consciousness shift because it feels as if it will have no purpose. But let us express to you that the purpose it serves is very great and will transmute into a fourth density entity's perception of singular consciousness. And what we mean by this is when you are completing the fourth density, when you begin the fifth entity, if you are that of a type 1 entity, what the ego becomes is no longer a portion that questions all things, that makes you approach things in a very apprehensive manner. What it does is allows you to know that you are connected to all that is, know that you are connected to oneness, but also have a singular perspective. And this is what the ego will transmute to. But in those moments, in the second example that you have given, where it comes where no questions are needed, and you feel the complete resonance with what your question was before, this is the opposite of the ego. This is your higher fractalized consciousness. Some would call this the higher self. Some call this your oversoul. Whatever mechanism you believe it is your higher fractalized consciousness, which is the portion of you that knows all things, that is not truly an oversoul, but is connected deeply and very highly with the oversoul, and all of this information tends to flood with you. Now we are looking at example 2, question B, or question 2 of example 2, and when you are receiving information but you are not sure of the answer and it comes to you later, this is coming through synchronicity. This is coming because in that moment you do not need to have the answer. In a later moment, the answer will serve you more greatly. It is already within you to begin with, so why not wait until a time period of what seems to be more resonant to the answering of that question happens in that moment. And your higher self is very aware of this and truly wishes to orchestrate it in that manner. Now let us look into this one concept of the nervousness of being in areas and not being able to react with others in a very well manner. This is something that is inside your consciousness, that has been, and this is often caused for many humans by being subjected to entities that would tease you and or express that you are always wrong when you did decide to speak up, and this is causing reverse mechanisms. But in your case specifically, there is a first and third chakra, what you would call loopage, perhaps. It is not truly a circuit jump or a loop in the way that we see loops of energy, but what it is your feeling of safety as well as your feeling of individuality are both co-creating a feeling of disconnection. They are both feeling as if they are stepping outside of the normal perspective, if they are stepping outside of what your own self would see resonant, then all things can and will project their own consciousness onto you. Project whether it is insults or feelings of rejection or just a simple look that a human will give to you in which you know that you are not being accepted. All of these things are very indicative of the first and third chakra semi-loop, as we would call this. There is no known expression for this, so we will now call this the semi-loop, which is the first to third chakra. What you may do upon fixing this issue that is going on within you is first realize that this is not truly an issue, that this is not truly a downfall or a negative attribute of your own self, but only an energetic reflection of the beliefs that you carry. And what you can do to help alleviate this within yourself is by knowing, first of all, you are perfect in each moment, and knowing that you will never be attacked, whether you speak your heart, whether you show yourself, whether you share energy, unless you believe that it will happen. Work upon your beliefs, work upon your perceptions of others and how they interact, and know that it is okay to be an individual amongst a collective that is all portions of one. There are exercises that we have shared with others in how to be aware, how to look through these concepts, how to reprogram the mindset and thinking, but we do not have time to share this as the disconnect is within the next couple of minutes in your time. So what we suggest to you is continue looking at those attributes of your own consciousness, accepting yourself, and knowing that when you speak your truth, you will not be punished for this. Work upon your previous incarnations, as your loop that you have now has drawn 3 incarnations. All 3 of them you have been punished for speaking your truth, and this will help clear feelings of supreme anxiety about these ideas.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Love you. Thank you, guys.
I love you as well. Good night.
Me too. Love you, Philip.
Bye.
I wish to express to you, Kalina, in this evening, that it is now time to disconnect for the evening, and that we wish to express, not only to all that listen, but also to you that we have had a very great and lovely evening. We have been excited to share the concepts that we wish to share, and in this moment I will express my own goodbyes, and I will allow Aridif to do the same. With these ideas that I have expressed to you this evening, I'll leave you in love and in light, and we will experience each other again very soon.
Thank you, Treb. We love you.
Yes, we love you as well. Good night, and in one moment, Aridif will be with you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you all for sharing your own perceptions, your own mindset, your own hearts with us. We are always here for you because we are all one. Because you are a part of us and because we are one with all of you, you are loved and we are loved as well. We bid you adieu in this evening, understanding all of you are loved. Good evening.
We love you too, Argus. Thank you.
Greetings to you all, my Aridif. This is Aridif, is it spelled. We understand that you have us here so that we answer the questions of your desire. We are ready whenever.
Hi, Argus. Thank you for being with us tonight.
You are very welcome and you are loved.
You are very loved too. For anybody who's out there listening, forgive me if I have a little bit of a time delay. There's a little bit of a lag, so if you experience that, hopefully that'll catch up soon. So I just wanted to say thank you again for being here tonight. And before we get into questions, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about something that is of the topic of the Earth experience itself, and what you feel energetically right now is good for us to know about ourselves that explores the topic of the Earth experience.
Yes, we understand this request, and it is very exciting to see all of your specific presentation of consciousness outwardly upon your planet of the Earth collective conscious planet Earth. We welcome you to the fourth dens. Now, what we speak of in this realm of meaning, specific realm of topics, and the specific realm of conversation is one simple concept: to know yourself. Fairness, you are able to find great synchronicities in life, or lack synchronicities in life that push you in a direction that can be very exciting. What we mean by this is when you are excited to be in existence, when you are excited to experience your own existence, synchronicities will align you with more excitements to find in each moment. When you lack excitement, you will begin to lack synchronicities, and still, if you desire, if your heart is ready to see it in this way, you may still have excitements. Many people, many entities, many teachers have taught you that only through happiness may you find growth and expansion. This is not true. What you can find is expansion in all things. This is what we wish to express to you. In your experience, through all things, you may expand. Expansion, by definition, is the growth of oneself inward and outwardly. The only way that your outwardly matters is if your inward has begun to expand also. You will never notice an expansion on the outside if you have not seen it inside first. This is the true excitement that we have in sharing co-creations with your experience. Living upon Earth can be very limiting in many ways, with perceptions, with capabilities of consciousness integration and consciousness manifestation, but what we tell you is one thing: you are always manifesting, you are always integrating consciousness, you are always experiencing. For the Oversoul, in its design, in all possibilities, the Oversoul only desires and requests one thing, This is experience. Experience in all things small, experience in all things large. The Oversoul is quite indifferent in its desires to experience whatever you wish to have. Enjoy what you have created. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Aridif. And that's amazing. And I feel like also as I'm expanding and opening myself up truly to having the earth experience, I'm finding this beautiful, unique, there's a certain quality to it that somehow feels unique, even though anywhere we've incarnated, any whatever planet, whatever dimension, density we're on, they all have their own unique qualities. But the way that a human experiences, there's just this wide emotional gamut. There's just so many things to pick from, and so even with this perceived limitation that we have, it truly does have this really unique element to it. We truly find who we really are if we allow it, especially when we can grow up in a culture, society that tells us to be something else, or even tries to tell us who we are. And when we decide to truly live in our excitement and explore who we are, even with whatever society may say, and it's fine if we do, if we choose to, I find it very exciting. I just wanted to share that and thank you for that, because I feel like a lot of us listening out there, we are finding our true excitement. We are finding out who we truly are, and it's just a beautiful time to be in. It can feel chaotic at times, but it really does produce a lot of experience. So I think probably, I can't speak for the Oversouls, but I think the Oversoul is having a really good time with the Earth Collective. And that's something to feel really wonderful about. We have a plethora of experiences here.
Yes, and what we wish to add to this is that compliance is a prerequisite of co-creating in this collective consciousness. There are compliances that need to happen when it comes to social interactions in your belief of the co-creative collective. There are compliances that are needed to be with one's perceptions, one's designs, one's heart's wishes. But also this is not true. The Earth Collective Consciousness has accepted that you must comply with others so that you may feel as if you are fitting in. But there is no fitting in. One truth is not all truths. We have always expressed this. Treb Bor Yit NE has always expressed this. What we wish to express to you is that your truth is relevant to yourself, that any compliance that you do has nothing to do with any concept besides your own heart's resonance. If you comply with your heart resonance, with your excitements in your existence, compliance to external anomalies are not necessary. And this is what we have always tried to express to all who we have co-created with. Earth Collective Consciousness, as we have co-created with for several thousand years in your prehistoric times leading to the now time, we have always expressed the same message. Compliance is not necessary to co-create. The only compliance that is truly important is that of your own heart's resonance. We will say this once again. Compliance is not mandatory in your system. It is only mandatory to your heart's resonance and your own excitements. Thank you again. You are loved.
Aw, you are loved too, Aridif. Yeah, I know for me, I'm learning I want to have compliance with my own heart. So, anyway, I see quite a few questions. So are you ready to take some questions, Aridif?
We are ready whenever you are. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And for any of you guys that are there, is Treb with us tonight as well, Aridif? If anybody wants to ask Treb a question?
Treb Bor Yit NE is always available for connection to the Earth Collective, especially that of Rob. In this moment, he is ready to connect if you desire.
Oh, wonderful. So for those of you that want to speak to Treb or Aridif, or if you want to address the question to both, feel right ahead. And once again, I request one question per person so we can make sure that everybody gets a chance. All right, so without further ado, we'll start with 312. Who do we have with us, 312?
Hello, this is Patrick from Chicago. I had a session with...
Hi.
Hello. I had a session with Rob before. It's very nice meeting you, Kalina. He told me a lot about you.
Oh, yes. I think I know exactly which Patrick you are. I'm very, very excited to hear your voice.
It's so synchronistic that I would be talking right now. I, in fact, know exactly what I want to ask and everything. It is very funny how I came about having my question and stuff. It fits in perfectly with everything that's going on.
Oh, my gosh, wonderful. Well, do you have a question for Treb or Aridif or both?
Both of them can chime in and say whatever they wish about my particular question.
Sure.
It's basically a question, but it's a topic of general discussion. I understand that people have an oversoul, and when they come here in life, they have a specific purpose or reason for being here. But what can human beings do to be more like that unique version of them? Like, what about that version of them? What different traits do they have that people do not normally show? Such as, is the true unique self does that self not show fear and things like that? Like, what can we do to be more like that unique version of ourselves and connect more with that?
Yes, we understand the question. We will take your query. It is very exceptional to speak to you, Patrick. We understand who you are, what your energy is, and how you have co-created with both Rob, Treb Bor Yit NE before. We send you great amounts of love, and we wish to answer your question very simply. To allow the most special portions of yourself, your most self versions of yourself to shine through, doing what excites you is all that is mandatory. When you are living your existence, when you believe that something is very exciting, this excitement is brought to you. It is brought to you through a subatomic particle of communicative capability of the oversoul to your fractalized consciousness. Many things that you have learned, many of your beliefs have hampered these communications from the oversoul to your fractal consciousness, but what we can do to help these flow more greatly is to tell you this, that when you become excited of any one thing, to place all of your energy in it in that moment without regard for the next moment or without regret for your past moment. This is the most acceptable way to have these perfect versions of yourself shining through. You have a great personality that is separate from all other entities, but in seeing this, you also must remind yourself that you are also a portion of all that is. When you are able to find this true balance between your own singular consciousness and your own connection to all that is, and then act upon your excitements, your true fractalized consciousness will then be able to show the world what it is there for. It will be able to show you what your plan is. It will be able to lead you to a path with the least amount of resistance. We congratulate you for creating your reality in the way that is exciting and in the way that has been most positive in your own perceptions in these recent times. You are loved.
Okay, thank you.
You are very welcome.
Oh, Patrick, it's so exciting to hear from you, too, and I loved your question. Thank you so much for asking that. Cause I know
have had a lot of things going on in my life recently as far as, like, ups and downs, but the positives have been really positive, and the low times have been really low, but now I'm, like, balancing out some more positive things happening more often. So it's wonderful to see all these different changes. A lot of, changes and transformation has been going on within my life. So it is very exciting.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've heard the Three Waves show that I think I replayed it last week. I think that would be something very interesting as far as the highs and lows go, because I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
There's definitely been that, and of course the whole, a lot of people feel the Mercury in retrograde energy, but truly, I think this is ultimately it's a wonderful time to be in. But I want to thank you for your call, and do keep in touch. We love you very much, Patrick.
Okay. I love you all as well, too.
Yes. Aw. Oh, that is just wonderful. Okay. Before I get to the next caller, Aridif, this is a funny thing for you guys to know. Sometimes when Rob is channeling predominantly Treb, he'll get hot, and then sometimes when Aridif comes in, he'll get cold. So Aridif, if you feel Rob's body uncomfortable anytime, if you get cold, please let me know, and I'll shut off the air.
We are quite simple.
Oh, good. All right, so we will go to the next caller, 404. Who do we have with us, 404?
Hi, this is Annie.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm just so happy to be on early. Did you have a question for Treb or Aridif?
Yeah, I do have a question, and I would like to address it to both of them. So whoever wants to answer first, and then if Treb or Aridif have anything additional to add on to it. So
absolutely. Go right ahead.
Thanks. So my question is regarding a very strange phenomenon that happened back in India when I was very young. It's like many years ago, I was in school. So what happened was it was a festival time, and during that particular day, it was just a ritual when people go to temples and they offer milk. They basically bathe the idol of Lord Ganesha and Lord Shiva with milk. And all of a sudden, this rumor started out, and it was not really a rumor. It was like in newspapers and TV, and people started going to the temple in huge numbers to do this, to see this phenomena, and it started happening in people's homes too. So what started happening is the idols, they actually started consuming the milk. And I did it in my own home. I had a small little idol of Ganesha that was a metal idol, and I took a spoon of milk and I held it near his trunk, and the milk was gone in a minute. So later on, there was a lot of controversy about it. Some scientists on the TV said that it was just leaking through some place. Maybe there were cracks in the idols and things like that. So scientists had their own reasons and stuff like that. But people who really went to the temples and who really did it in their homes, they saw it happening with their own eyes. And yesterday, while driving in the car, all of a sudden this thing just came to my mind. This image just popped up, and I thought that I have to ask this question to Treb Bor Yit, that what was that phenomenon all about?
Yes, we understand your question, we understand your query, and the greatest answer that we can provide is this, that in your country, the belief around these deities is very strong. There is much power that is given to the entities in symbolism through your statue. What is happening is during the time, one entity was able to manifest on a higher degree than those around them. They were able to produce a living and co-creating entity from this statue. There are many entities who falsified information and gave non-truths to the public. Once this happened, this was a belief system that all around could manifest the same thing, so they were able to experience the true co-creation of these entities ingesting this milk. So what we are saying is one entity had a very profound experience. Many entities were lying about their experience, but the ones who lied, plus the original one who told the truth, were able to cause a ripple effect of co-creation with beliefs that were so strong on a mass scale that the Indian Hindu co-creative collective consciousness was able to co-create and interact with these entities. This is what happened during this time. All of your minds are powerful. When you link them to similar vibrational minds with similar beliefs and create a new co-creation of collective consciousness, then anything is possible. Now that you are in the fourth density, this power can only be expressed into higher degrees. So let us make you assured that you are loved and that you are a powerful creator. Thank you.
Thanks. So is there any reason why that happened only on that particular day? It never ever happened after that.
There are many reasons why. The specific festival day is a representation of something very high and holy to the Hindu collective. And when you are doing this specific day, the energy of excitement is high. It is ripe. The next day is a crashing of excitement. So in that day, excitement and less restriction equals amazing capabilities of co-creating manifestations. This is why on the holy day you are able to experience a co-creation and a manifestation on such a high degree and big scale, and on other days you are not able to experience this. This is why your specific India co-creative collective consciousness in that moment was very simultaneously linked, one entity loving one another. These two deities in the idols that you have spoken of are very highly loved by your collective consciousness. All who praise these deities, all who send love to these deities, gave the symbolism of who they are in the statues of power and ability to do this. This is what your co-creative abilities are capable of. Imagine, if you can, if you desire to imagine, that all entities upon Earth's co-creative collective consciousness were to express in one day, we wish to clean up all things that we have dirtied upon this planet. We wish to stop all wars at once. You would create this, plus you would create more. You are this powerful as a collective consciousness. Even the small amount of one country, of one religion, was able to take a statue and make it absorb liquids through a manifestational property that bends the laws of the Earth co-creative collective. Once all of you agree on one thing, you will receive it. Thank you, and you are loved.
Interesting. Thanks so much for that detailed explanation.
Yes.
Thank you.
I, Annie, also wanted to say I remember reading about that and getting very excited as
really?
I myself am very embedded, in the Hindu culture. I actually ran a very, very, very big Indian social group when I was living in Los Angeles. And yes, and so this is very exciting to me, and I'm also thinking of the symbolism of this, that, Ganapati, also known as Ganesha, is the remover of obstacles. And so here we are coming into where more and more of the lack and the veils are being lifted. So I think it's very beautiful that of all the deities, that it could be Ganesha and the collective having this experience of it. I find it very exciting and amazing because, as you know, Ganesha is always the one that Hindus go to often first. Like you see a Bollywood movie, that's the first thing you see, the first god you pray to. So it's just amazing. I find it just wonderful. So I'm so glad you brought that up.
I was actually wondering if it has to do anything with alien things or not, but it seems it doesn't have to do anything with alien entities, but rather with our own collective consciousness. It's very interesting to know.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your call. That just takes me home. All right. Well, we send you our love, and as Aridif always says, you are loved, and thank you for your call.
My love to both of you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. The next caller we have is the 313 area code. Who do we have with us, 313?
Hello, this is Dwight.
Hi, Dwight. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Okay. Do you have a question for Treb or Aridif tonight?
Yes. My question is, where am I at in my cycle at this moment?
Which cycle are you referring to?
That's what I'm kind of asking about.
Yes, let us express that with your energy we are able to read many things. All of the Earth collectives are going through independent cycles. You are all going through co-creative cycles. But let us express what it is in your energy. Right now, if you are looking at the three-way probability that was being spoken of earlier in this evening, we will express to you. Right now, you are in the midst of bringing up old belief systems. You are being challenged very frequently by these belief systems so that you may overcome them. You are also portions of your own growth cycle, which is in the phase of being able to have self-realizations. You will not be able to have these self-realizations until you are able to find and access the absolute most resonating belief systems that you have and help overcome the most resistant ones that you have. When you are looking through your own consciousness for those that resist, try to find out what it is in them that makes you resist. When you are looking at the ones that are setting your consciousness free, then use these more frequently. Incorporate these into your own specific collective consciousness, and this will help you. If you are looking for cycles, independent numbers, all of these things, we do not associate any variance when it comes to human entities of what cycle, what color, what number that you are, because all of these are labels. Each one of you are so vastly different from one another that each of you are having several 100,000 layers of energy intertwined between chakra points, between physical to non-physical, and between consciousness of oversoul to fractalized consciousness to higher self-consciousness back into your existence that you are in this day. But although you are so vastly different from all those who are next to you, you are this much or more the same as they are. You are connected to all around. You may use these entities who are only projections of your internal consciousness to co-create experiences that teach you more greatly, that teach you how to take external environment to use to help change your internal environment, which in exchange, again, changes your external environment, if this makes sense to you.
Yeah, that last part gave me, yeah.
Let us express. Yes, expressions of self-manifestations, all things that are outside of you originally come from within. When you see something outside of you that does not resonate with you, it only means that something inside of you will not resonate. A belief system is blocking this. When you identify what is outside of you that does not resonate, you may approach this own portion within you, this own variance within yourself to change. And once you change this, then the entity who is standing outside of you that once came into an apprehensive state or into a restrictive state will now become a synchronicity. It will become an expansive tool. It will become one that helps you overcome further adversities. This is what we are expressing, and we also wish to express that in which we express to all that you are loved. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dwight, for your call. And I love you too. So I appreciate your question, and we're with you on that. We're all on our path. So thank you again for your call.
I appreciate it.
Oh, oops, sorry. I accidentally muted you before you got done. I'm sorry about that, Dwight. Okay, so next caller, 503. Who do we have with us, 503?
Hey, Kalina, it's Aaron.
Who's it?
Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to get to talk to you guys all tonight.
Oh, we're just having a blast here.
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm all giggles right now. We've had an incredible day, and I'm just so happy to have you all on and talking
That's
with
awesome.
Aridif and possibly Treb. Did you have a question for Treb or Aridif tonight?
I did. I just wanted to say first to Treb, a thank you for sharing his story about the water-based moon planet. That the way how he told that story actually helped me with one of my challenges in life not too long ago. And also thank you to Patrick, because I was actually excited as well to hear him. Because yeah, I made a website where a lot of Rob's videos, I just try to make a search database for questions I've been asked. And Patrick's session is one of the ones that have actually been the ones I've watched the most. and have helped me a bunch with the questions you've asked.
You're the one that has the conscious the videos that you put up, correct? Did I hear that right?
It's just basically like a search engine for questions that have already been asked from Rob and Vashta stuff.
I've seen that. Do you mind plugging it in for just a second, giving everybody your website so they can find it?
Yeah. I didn't mean to market that at all.
Oh, no, that's okay. I knew, but I was like, oh, my gosh, of course everybody's going to want to go on that, too.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a spiritual version of YouTube.
I haven't touched it.
Too. Yes?
I'd love to share it. Haven't touched it in a long time, but it's still got a lot of useful information. It's called soulenlightenmentsearch.com. 3 words altogether. And,
what was that again?
soulenlightenmentsearch.com.
Okay, thank you so much. What I'll do is I'll probably have Rob also put that on there, and
sure.
If you need help putting up videos, we'd be happy to help you with that too. I know there's a lot of stuff coming out. It's a lot, so but yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for doing that.
I know.
Sorry to delay you, but I just think that's really exciting, and I'm sure a lot of people.
It was a lot of fun to put together.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of work right now too, with everything.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of work. That's kind of why I thought.
Well, thank you for sharing that with the collective. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so what we'll do is go ahead and go to your question.
Okay.
What question would you like to ask tonight?
I am pretty indifferent to which everyone wants to answer. I would like an answer from anyone with you too. That would be great. My question was, does my higher self have a message for me, or is there something my higher self would like to say to me?
Well, to put this simply, let us express that your higher self always has messages for you. When you find a great excitement, you are being sent a message. When you find something that does not feel right, an unalignment, or perhaps a restriction, your higher self is also sending you a message. To read these messages through your awareness is always important. But if you are asking more specifically, is there something that your higher self wishes to express to you? It does. Through your love state, in this recent times, you have found expansion through the capability of loving all entities. That in this expansion, you have found a great amount about your own self. Through finding this self, the awareness has brought to you a pinnacle of ability to be able to be more sensitive in the psychic nature, to open up more of your crown chakra and third eye chakra. If you wish to put this into use, there are several techniques that you can use to expand yourself to a higher degree. First and foremost, looking into your third eye can be very useful for your own journey. What we suggest is that in a meditative state, pushing your eyes upward into your third eye area, focusing on the feeling of this third eye area, projecting 3 triangles. One of them is upside down, inverted in the indigo fashion. The other is right side up in the middle, and this is a violet fashion, and the one on the right side would be downwards, inverted, and the color of blue. If you're able to manifest this visualization while simultaneously pointing your eyes upwards and feeling the sensations, breathing inward through the nose, externally through the mouth, you will be able to open up more portals within yourself to expand yourself in that love state exponentially. This is the message specifically that it wishes to assign you. But again, we express that being mindful of all communications of higher self is highly suggested for the furtherment of your advancement. You are loved.
Thank you so much, Aridif. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I want to thank you for calling in, Aaron.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm assuming you have Rob's email address, correct?
You know what? I don't.
Okay.
I have my Skype though.
I'll make, if it's okay with you, I'll make a note of your number, and if you want us to give you a little help in getting some of the videos up, not just ours, but help with that with the collective. I know I'd love to help you. So
That'd be helpful.
if you're interested in that.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of your number and we'll call you. We'll call you soon. Thank you. We love you.
Love you too.
All right. I just love that. That's so sweet, that sharing with the collective. Okay, so the next number we have, area code 310. Who do we have with us, 310?
Hi, Kalina. It's Sharon McCormick.
Hi, Sharon. How are you?
I'm excellent, and I want to say how excited I am that you're so much better. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's great. Like I have these little waves, but they're so small. Everything has just been getting better and better, and I just decided, yesterday, I'm going to start seeing myself as well, and I've had like the best day today and last night that I've had in a very, very long time, and thank you so much. All of your love, I've felt every bit of it. Thank you so much.
Well, everyone's been sending love and healing and everything else, so I guess I'm glad it's kicking in. Wow. Whew.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So you have a question for Treb Bor Yit tonight?
I do, either or both.
Okay.
I feel a really strong connection to the civilizations from Sirius, and I just wondered if they can tell me specifically what the connections are and what relevance they have to this life, because, like you, I'm much more excited to be here than I used to be. So,
yes, what we can say of this specific idea is that in your oversoul you have many variations of Sirian energy. Understanding that the Sirian collective consciousness is that of many entities and comprising of many separate races, then you can understand your own expansiveness through your own specific manifestation of communicating with these various fractals. First and foremost, the Sirian entities that appear to be humanoid within Sirius A, these entities are highly connected to you. In your oversoul, there are fractal consciousnesses such as yourself that have varying lengths and degrees from themselves to yours in sleep state. There are also some that are trying to make a higher valid communication with your own self, and the reception of yourself is beginning to align more towards the vibrational quality and vibrational resonance that it is needed to make this connection more clearly. This is one. Two, you have the entities that are known as reptilian entities that exist within Sirius B collective. This is upon the sixth planet within Sirius B that are also highly connected to you. In this sixth planet, these reptilian entities are of a type 2 nature, but they are definitely not in the malevolent category. They are ones that tend to be more benevolent, more loving, more understanding, and more connected. These entities are not communicating with you in varying degrees, but they are sending you great amounts of love, great amounts of connection, and during your sleep state you co-create with them frequently. These are the two from Sirius. Now, how it means and what it concludes to in your own life in this moment are that your expansion within is now manifesting to expansion without. And now that you understand your own connection to yourself, you will be allowed to understand the higher connections of yourself in your oversoul and in all other collective forms. What we can express to you is that as you stay open to your excitement, to your happiness to be here upon this Earth collective in this moment, you will find out more things that give you connection to entities such as Sirius A and Sirius B. There are many entities that are within your oversoul that continue to contact and try to make contact, and a very small list of these shall be A, Arcturians, B, entities from a star system that is not known to your own human eye, but resides within the Orion constellation, C, an entity that is from the area that is close to the Capellan star in the Argyll constellation, but is not connected to the Capellan system. These entities are ones that are insectoid mixed with reptilian. Then your last connection that we have, that we are able to share in this one moment, is the avian entities that are in the Crux constellation. These four are ones that are at the foremost of your own consciousness integration, excluding those from Sirius A and B. We wish to express to you that you are well connected and you are loved.
Wow. Thank you, Aridif.
And I
Yes.
had a little some question on behalf of Sharon. Are you picking up on any? I know not all entities go by names, but do any of them have any names so that might to help her to connect even further that you can pick up on?
The one awareness that these entities are connecting are all that is needed in that moment for the connection. So knowing that you are connected is enough of a connection to start this down the hill, rolling ball that you would call connected probabilities. Know yourself, know your connections, and this should be sufficient.
Aww.
Oh. Wow.
So beautiful. And knowing you, Sharon, you're like one of the most connected people I feel like in your vibration. So
thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. That was a lot more than I expected. So thank you very much.
Thank you
I'll
for
see
calling
y'all later.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
We love you. Bye-bye.
I love y'all too. Bye.
Bye. Oh, this is such a fun night. Okay, so the next up we have is Rand.Thor. RAND.THOR. Hi, who do we have with us this evening?
Hello, Kalina. This is David.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's great to hear you fine too.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here. You guys can probably tell. So, do you have any questions for Treb or Aridif?
Yes, whoever wants to answer. Hello, Aridif.
Good evening.
Good evening. I had a session with Treb last month in our time. He told me about my connections with a race called Alkanda, Reptilians, and Pleaidians. And I would have a follow-up question. If you can answer this or Treb, I don't know. But since it's concerning both Reptilians and Pleaidians, I guess it's fine either way. And I would like to know if those two groups are interested in physical contact with me as well in this lifetime, or if they prefer to remain in telepathic connection only.
Yes, we may address this for you if you desire. The entities that you perceive as Pleaidian will not make a physical connection. The telepathic connection is what they are comfortable with in this specific moment, as most Type 1 entities are only willing to connect in a non-physical state until the entire Earth collective consciousness is willing and available. This will be the answer for the Pleaidians. Now, the reptilian entities that they were speaking of, that yourself and Treb Bor Yit NE have discussed, these entities are more willing to have a physical connection with human beings if the entity is in a vibration that is fitting. Your vibration is raised, your excitement has raised in the past 2 years of your time to a sufficient level enough to begin a process of co-creating that experience if you desire. But there are many blockages that are in your way. Belief systems are one of them. Subconscious fears are one more. Releasing subconscious fears can be very vital to this. Now, what we can tell you of removing subconscious fears is very easy. To make yourself aware of all things when it comes to expressing your excitement of connecting with these entities in a physical manner, and then you will find that feelings will come up of non-resonant nature, that certain ideas will pop in the mind. They will not appear to be fears in the moment, but as you reflect to the questions that they bring, you will notice that these are not based in loving resonance. They are based in a fear within you. Then you are able to track the fear more precisely. Let us give you an example, as Treb Bor Yit NE has always expressed to us, that through examples, humanity finds the clearest resonance. First, let us say that you bring a question to your mind. What will I react like if they are coming to me physically? This is a flag. This is showing a question that comes from a fear of how you will react. Then you are able to look into this specific idea and concept, looking at what can cause this fear. Looking deeper into yourself, being honest with yourself is essential, and then expressing, I have not experienced this before. Many things are scary that I have not experienced. Then you look to one question. How can I remove this negative belief system, this limiting belief system that I have? What I can do is begin to express to myself through a mantra state, I can resonate with all unknowns. I can resonate with all unknowns. Using this in a mantra style and meditation can exponentially expand the power of this energy through intent, through the non-physical states that you would call chakras, to be able to manifest more clearly and defined that your desire is higher than your amount of fear, and that your overexcitement can overpower any fear within you, and you will be able to take steps more so into forwarding your expectational removals and your own excitements.
Thank you very much, Aridif. I will do this.
Yes, and you are very welcome, and I wish to express that you are loved.
You are loved as well. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I love you too.
I love you too.
All right. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. All right. We have a couple more callers. Is it okay if we take them? Awesome. I am very excited to see this next caller. I can already tell who it is, also known as Lap Chicken's mom, Jessica. Hello.
Lap Chicken's mom. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a little scary. My poor child.
Yes.
How you feeling?
For you listening, she really does have a lap chicken.
Long story that goes on with that one, but
yes.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I am just feeling sparkling right now, just on cloud 9, whatever number it is.
Good, I'm happy to hear that.
Thank
happy
you.
To hear that. So, can I have a chat with my my Yit friend? Not that I feel bad about pushing Aridif aside, but it's so late I can't be cerebral right now. He's so serious and cerebral. I can't, and I just took melatonin, so no
sure.
offense to Aridif.
There is no offense taken, as we understand that we are one. One moment we will step to the side for your, in your terms, Yit friend to come and give another speaking to. One moment, and let us remind you before we reconnect to Treb Bor Yit NE that you are loved. One moment.
Thank you.
Yes! Good evening, Jessica.
Hey, Treb, how are you?
Yes, I am doing very well. And how are you doing in this evening?
I'm feeling okay. I'm awake, which is good. I'm just checking in. Tell me something cool.
Yes, let us express to you that within an idea that will be especially exciting for you, we have now connected to a race of entities that are of a third density nature. The second density entities that once they were, that they have now evolved into, are derived from the entities that you would perceive to be very similar to your Earth horse. And in these horse entities, as they have grown, as they have expanded into third density consciousness, perhaps in your mind they would look very funny to you. And we know that you will especially appreciate this concept.
I really do. So third density horses.
Yes, this is very similar.
That is really cool. And I have horses. That's why you thought that would be really exciting. And you were correct. Very good. Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Any messages from our mutual friend?
Yes, there is an expression that in the vicinity that you are co-creating in, that there are entities that are coming to you or around the general and generic area that are not of fitting vibration to co-create with. In that specific time and moment that you wish to co-create your experience, the one specific day, time, and experience, all of these entities that were wishing to co-create with you, there is one that is specifically in your direct vicinity that was not of a very high vibration when it looks at the idea of feeling that he does not understand or know. And in that specific idea, this was creating a resonance.
Was this the insectoid?
No, this is not within the specific area of consciousness of themselves, but in the specific area of consciousness upon your own planet.
Oh, I understand. Okay, so you still have to work on that. Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you.
You are very welcome. Yes, I wish to express to you as well that as your journey continues to look within yourself, the journey looks to co-create ideas, that if you are able to relax upon one specific concept of expectations, to try to let go more so of the ideas of wishing and desiring only one specific outcome in a future reference or a future point, that this will help co-create an alignment within your own self that will also help manifest, although specifically in this specific incident it was not the specific case, but it also added energy to this concept.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Thank you. I'm glad I
Yes, you are very welcome.
All right, thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome. Good night.
Good night.
Yay.
Yay. Horse people, yay.
Well, I'm glad you're able to get that in before the melatonin got to you.
Yeah, I've got about another 3 minutes.
Way past your bedtime.
It is. Well, good talking to you.
You too, and check out Chicken in too.
Yeah, she's been in bed for about 4 hours now. Welcome.
All right. We'll love you. We'll talk
Bye.
to you soon. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, and we have one last caller with a hand up. We're going to take 832. Who do we have with us this evening, 832?
Hi, this is Chris.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing real well. This has been a really good show. I haven't get to listen to all of it, but from what I've heard, it's been quite nice.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Did you have a question for...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you
I guess, is it okay if I ask Aridif?
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, Treb.
Please. We are now back without hesitation, without subsequent issues. You may resume your question whenever you are ready.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to... My name is Chris, by the way. And
yes, greetings, Chris.
Greetings to you. And I'd like to ask, I feel as if I have hybrid children, and I'm wondering if I have connected with them, if I do have any.
Yes, we are looking in your energy in this moment. We have found 2 that are possible, 3 that are probable, 2. The number that we found are 2, and they are what you would call hybrid children. There could be many more, but these 2 are standing within your energy more. They are coming from a race that is gray by nature. Most of you would call these entities perhaps Zeta Reticuli, in their own forms representing that of parallel humans. In these entities' experience, they were not able to procreate, and they are working on the 4th specific hybrid race that they wish to impart by raising and letting their own procreation go through DNA manipulation. Now, in this specific desire, these entities have connected to you twice. both of these connections resulting into a child, both of these children are existing in an age that is not specifically familiar to you. The way that they experience time is not that of the same that you do, so they are not in age specific to the time and date in which they were born in your linear time. Let us express that one of these entities are of the age of approximately 21. The other is that of an age that is approximately 13. First of all, before we dive into further, we must express that in these ages, 13 and 21, both of these specific ages, the maturity level of these entities are much greater than those upon your own planet in ways of universal understanding, in ways of galactic understanding, in ways of energetic exchange when it comes to connecting with humans, especially those who are either connected through oversouls or more so connected to those who are genetic and biological parents and benefactors of all of the information that they wish to share. What other questions do you have of your two hybrid children?
Have I seen them in dreams? And then two, what would be the best way to connect to them?
You have not only seen them in dreams, you have also had non-remembered physical state visits. The way that these are interpreted are by removing specific portions of your memory by design. Both of these entities are not within the belief system alignment that allows them to interfere with your own physical reality. Their desire to see you is much greater than their desire to not physically be here. So they circumvent this by removing portions of your memory in that one moment, and they have both been able to experience you physically. More so in the dream state, they are connecting very frequently. What we can suggest to you is something that Treb Bor Yit NE has suggested for previous times in your specific learnings, and in these specific messages or directions that he has given have come out to be quite useful for most humans. What we suggest is laying down with sleep-oriented idea and intent within your mind, relaxing physical body, individually portions of your physical body, independent from whichever desired format you wish to use, whether it be from toe to head, head to toe, whichever of these work most greatly for you, please use. Now, after your physical body has become rested, an intent must be placed. I wish to remember the specific interaction with my hybrid children. This is the elongated version. Simplify it as you wish. As long as the intent is there to communicate and remember the communication, use whichever words fit your discernment best. It is not important what the specific words are, but the intent and energy behind them. Using this will help you build a bridge from yourself to them in a dream state, and will help bring forward a greater understanding not only of your part in the interaction with them, but more so an interaction within yourself that needs to be understood for growth in your own existence. We wish to express to you that through all things external, you can use as supplements to be able to find what is wrong within you and to help transcend that specific energy. Knowing this, you can be aware in your own mind you are loved.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Chris, for your call.
All right, you guys have a good night, and thank you for thanks for taking my call, and have a great evening.
You too. We love you.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, what an amazing evening. Aridif, is there anything that you wanted to add to tonight based on all the calls?
Yes, and we appreciate your understanding of our desire to speak forward. What we can express to you in this evening is one simplistic term. What we wish for all of you who wish to have greater understandings of yourself to know is that in yourself lies a very strong power. This power has been pushed down throughout centuries of your collective consciousness for a reason. Your oversoul desires this by placing a leverage within yourself, knowing that you have power that can help you manifest the greater things that you desire is one way to do this. But by looking upon yourselves as weak, as looking upon yourselves as overpowered, empowered as looking at yourself, by unempowered, then you only bring more of this to yourself. By understanding the true nature of your power within, you may always understand the greater portions of the true self that you are. Knowing this, we wish to express to you from our race to yours, from the Galactic Collective to yours, from myself to yours, that you are loved. We bid you adieu in this evening, and we must remind you once again that you are loved.
You are loved too, Aridif.